to be consistent as a person and as a coach, and just building those relationships with them because they have had a lot of adversity and change. So just being patient in that process and taking the time to get to know them, and them taking the time to get to know me and us as a coaching staff, and building that trust and building those relationships there.
Trust and relationships so important. She built those at her D2 school, Lindenwood, where she was there 9 years and started the program, and 3 D2 national titles. Twice she was named the USA Gymnastics Head Coach of the Year, 2015 and 2016, and looking to build the same kind of program here on Montlake.
Exactly. She talked about how important it is to build the culture and to define that for the team and let everyone know what kind of family she wanted to create on this team. And that was a big selling point for Geneva Thompson. She was done with gymnastics after last year. And so Coach Llewellyn gave her a call in the off season when she arrived and said, I just want to let you know that this spot is available for you if you want it. Take some time and think about if you're mentally ready, physically ready. And Geneva took some time. They had some phone calls, some coffee conversations. Meanwhile, Geneva's training by herself at her club gym, learned some new skills, and is back on the team providing such helpful leadership as a super senior for the Huskies.
Cal, number 11 in the nation after week 1 for them. Huskies number 38. Each school had their first meets. They had to pull out of it 2 weeks ago, the Collegiate Challenge down in Anaheim, California, because of COVID protocols, but were able to compete last week. Washington was at Oregon State. Cal was at home against Stanford. And right now, Washington leading by 8/10, and there's their balance beam lineup. They trail by .725, and you figure a quarter point, for those who aren't really initiated to this, is like, say, leading by a field goal in football. A half point is like leading by a touchdown, and a point is like maybe leading by 2 touchdowns. If you're within a half a point, you're within striking distance. I mean, if the other team had to count a fall, you would have the opportunity to come from behind and win.
Exactly, and with Huskies on balance beam, that's the event where those falls are more of a concern than on some of the other events. But they did very well last week on the beam. It was actually the floor that was the place where the Huskies struggled. And so looking to Brenda Brooks in the leadoff spot, getting a nice pep talk from Kathy Eckstein. She's led off the Huskies before. It's a good role for her, even though she took last year off. She's so consistent and so smooth, and we'll see if she can harness that excitement being back at home in this beam performance.
2 judges for each apparatus. They will average the 2 scores. Jen Llewellyn talking with Brenda Brooks, the senior from Allen, Texas. Brenda's father, Bane, played baseball for Oklahoma. Brenda says that she would like to work in the medical field.
A lot of athletes from Texas on this Husky roster. Brenda Brooks, Dia Moody, Kathy Eckstein, all club teammates at one point during their careers.
Love the artistry.
Pitch front, back handspring connection, does well to keep moving between the front to back skills.
Career high 9.875. Last week in her first beam routine competitively since 2020, had a 9.7.
Good extension in the back leg on those leaps. To hit the 180 position that judges are looking for, you actually need to oversplit to exceed that. Takes a little bit of time to wind into that front aerial. You can see she was off between the connection, but kept the beat jump going and was able to stay on with some help from Jen Llewellyn on the sidelines, willing her to stay on the beam.
I think we were all trying to help her. I was leaning over too.
I like this stag lead connection into her gainer. Full dismount and sticks the landing. A good, solid lead off for Brenda Brooks.
So a hit for Brenda Brooks, leading off the balance beam for the Huskies. There's the Cal floor exercise lineup, and Nevaeh D'Souza will start matters off. At a 9.875 last week against Stanford. She was fourth and had to have a hit to avoid counting a fall. You want to talk about artistry? Watch Nevaeh D'Souza do her thing.
She had a large step on this first pass last week. We'll see if she finds the landing. Very well done on the double pike. Solid leaps. More difficult middle pass there. 1.5 to a front full. Little large step forward. About a 1/10 deduction. She'll do 3 tumbling passes. Some opt for 2.
This is her final one.
Rebounds out of this Rudy to a stag jump and a little bit out of control. I don't know exactly how the judges will treat that. She played it off beautifully, like she meant to do that forward roll. I can't tell you if she actually did or not, but a little bit out of control. You know, they put these leaps in after the tumbling to cover up any landing errors. She'll get deducted for the low chest either way, but we'll see what they do with that forward roll.
Here's Dia Moody, the freshman, after the 9.55 for Brenda Brooks. Moody had a 9.675 in her first routine of the day bars. Final time we'll see her. Struggled a tad in her first collegiate beam routine last week at Oregon State, putting up a 9.575.
Jen said Dia has artistry on beam through her fingertips, from literally her toes through her fingers. Just continue to improve with more experience. Very nice connection.
Wow.
From the series to the beat jump. Leg a little short on both of those leaps. Dia competed as a junior elite, so has a lot of experience. Really solid connection. She looks at ease on the beam. Doesn't really, you know, display the nerves sometimes that a true freshman can have.
Now, Olympic silver medalist Samantha Peshek told me that you had to make friends with the beam.
Exactly. Dia Moody does that there. Fantastic job from start to finish.
Better than her 9.575 last week by a long shot.
Yeah, definitely. I like the addition of the beat jump there.
9.775 for D'Souza. A bit disappointing by her standards. And Maya Bordas, meanwhile, last week, the entire meet against Stanford came down to her floor routine, and it was originally scored a 9.725, which would have resulted in a dual meet tie with the Cardinal, but it was changed to a 9.775 based on her start value, meaning Cal won the meet by that 0.5 She landed a little short on her first tumbling pass.
Yeah, so Coach Liz Crandall-Howell is also a brevet level judge. So she recognized very quickly that her start value, one of the judges got her start value wrong. They didn't properly credit one of her ring leaps. So it was a very quick inquiry decision to raise by that 10th, and thus gave the Bears the win.
His first tumbling pass, but she came up a little bit short last week. Still was a hit.
Very easy double tuck.
Much better.
Control on the landing. That is the leap there that didn't get credited properly last week. She needs that back leg to be bent. Essentially, the goal is for your foot to almost hit the back of your head. It wasn't quite bent enough in my mind. We'll see what the judges do. That jump leap is as difficult as some of the tumbling she will do. It's deceivingly hard. A little bit flat on that Rudy, but lands it very well.
You would have liked to see more height?
A little bit more height on that, exactly. She was sort of flat out of the front handspring, but all that aside, such beautiful dance from Maya Bordas. She really is the total package. She has great difficulty and really clean tumbling on the double tuck, but also
plenty of height on that one.
Exactly, and really inviting dance as well.
Yeah, very talented Maya Bordas. 9.775 for Diamudi, 0.2 better than last week. So getting better and better. And now Morgan Bowles, who looks to likewise after just an 8.85 on bars. She had a 9.675 on beam in week 1. Her career high, 9.825. The junior from Las Vegas, Morgan Bowles.
Morgan has a new flight series in this routine. She also has a new dismount. And with the COVID protocols, the team has not been able to train as much, but really good job to connect those two aerials. That will count as her series. The judges want to make sure that you continue to move between those two acro elements, as she did there.
Grew up in Las Vegas, but Washington has always been her dream school.
Here's her leap series, and she was supposed to go all the way around, got caught up at the 3/4 and took that big break at the hips. It could be that the judges don't give her the connection for her leap series there, which would be a 2/10 deduction on top of the wobble. Here she's going to set up for her new dismount. Could be a gainer front full off the end. Just a slight hop forward. Really great job on her new flight series, but some struggles on that leap series, and we'll see if that affects her start value or not.
Maya Bordas posted a 9.8 on floor, and now here is Milan Klausi, Pac-12 Freshman of the Year 3 years ago. Hard to believe she's now a senior.
Yes, such a just fantastic athlete for Cal. Justin said she did an angry floor last week after she had fallen on beams so uncharacteristically and came back and did what he said was one of the best collegiate routines she's ever had.
Great height.
Nicely done.
Last week they'd already counted the fall on beam and had to have a hit from Klausi to avoid counting one on floor, and they got it.
She has the potential to do so much more difficulty. Like I talked about earlier, in college it's about selecting the moves that you can do perfectly, not necessarily the most difficult, and she makes it look easy. Like the double stag out of the front layout there.
Able to stay in bounds. Daughter of Melissa Marlowe, an Olympic gymnast for the United States in 1988. All-American all 4 years at Utah.
We'll close with a double tuck.
Big deep breath.
Nice job. Judges want to see control on those landings, meaning your feet can't move when you land. And she did that there. Awesome job.
Good show by Milan Klausi, the senior from Salt Lake City.
That is the total package on the floor. Great artistry and a fantastic tumbling series here with the double tuck dismount. You can take one step back when you're back tumbling. You can take one step forward when you're front tumbling.
Taylor Russin talking with Jen Llewellyn. 9.55 for Morgan Bowles.
I didn't see the start value marker, but based on that score, it looks like they did not give her her leap series. Jen is the beam coach. She said it's her baby.
Now Russin struggled with her beam routine last week at Oregon State, notching a 9.275. Performed 2 routines last year as a freshman. Looking to the beam lineup, the season's final 2 meets. So this is her 4th collegiate beam routine.
Off there on the front aerial. Coach Llewellyn said she has all of the skills. She does beautiful work on the beam, great extension and flexibility, just needs to build her confidence. And I think on that front aerial, she was mostly on, but didn't really snap her arms down to finish like she does there on that flight series. Beautifully done. Great extension. Oh no, on that, the first switch leap was great, and when you see gymnasts fall forward like that on the side, they've really just lost confidence in the air, and they lost their arm position, and then your shoulders fall over, and unfortunately has to fall on that leap.
She's 4th in the lineup, so pressure on Kennedy Davis and Skylar Killer-Wilhelm to avoid counting a fall on beam.
They just need to get more numbers under their belt. You know, as a sophomore, this is her first competition in front of fans in Alaska Airlines Arena. Last season, competed with no fans, obviously.
8.25 for Milan Klausi. Now, Maya Lazan at a 9.825 on bars, a 9.5 on vaults. Performing in front of from her club, Metropolitan Gymnastics, her hometown of Kent, Washington, about 20 miles south of here. Our club team is here.
Coach Howell just remarked on her energy.
Really talented dancer.
And said that if she weren't a gymnast, she would love to be a dancer. This was a routine. Liz Crandall Howell handles the choreography for most of the Cal routines.
Her parents own the Legacy Elite Gym in Aurora, Illinois, and both competed for China in the 1984 Olympics. And Andy's one of 4 Legacy Elite gymnasts currently on the Cal squad.
There's another front tumbling pass, very well controlled on that landing. That was a well-done leap series. Got both leaps fully around, hit full split. Beautiful artistry. She was on the top of her toes there and shows off gorgeous flexibility at the end.
Love it. Andy Lee.
So you'll see on this front tumbling pass, she does a front double full. You have to be really in control and aware of your body positioning when you land, and you see her right arm and her left arm are completely out of whack. Stays in bounds, but could be a little bit of adduction there on that stag leap. few of the Cal Bears have struggled on their leaps after tumbling passes today.
9.825 for Kennedy Davis on beam. That's half a tenth. That's actually, it's exactly what she did last week. And I hear Skylar Killer-Wilhelm, her third of 4 routines, the only Husky doing the all-around today.
It's a difficult triple series here. The front aerial into the back handspring layout. She was a little bit tentative on that connection, but she righted her shoulders, kept the arms moving.
New career high last week with a 9.9.
Tied Jade Carey for the beam title.
That's saying something. Jade Carey, the Olympic gold medalist on floor exercise. We'll see her tomorrow on Pac-12 Network at 2 o'clock against UCLA. Georgia Childs, another Olympian.
Super solid front pipe toss there. Leap connection. This looks fun for her. That's a good sign on beam. A lot of gymnasts do this side aerial back fold. She adds an extra half twist on the end, makes it more difficult, and finds the stick. What a routine by Skylar Killer-Wilhelm.
How would that compare with her 9.9 last week? It was a career high.
Basically the same, if not a little bit better, although, you know, she lands, she sticks the dismount. Technically, you're supposed to turn and salute the judges. I know they're not going to take the deduction here on the extra step. She was celebrating with their teammates, duly so. What a phenomenal routine for Skylar Killer-Wilhelm.
9.9 for Andy Lee, matching her score from last week. Half a tenth off her career high. Now Nina Schonk will close the rotation. Was not on floor last week, or career high 9.9 a couple of years ago against Arizona.
Yeah, this Cal lineup is so deep. Of embarrassment of riches to choose who's going to be in those 6 positions on each event. Solid double tuck.
Talk about depth. The Golden Bears were just 3/4 of a tenth away from the NCAA's final day yesterday. They have that in their gun sights this year.
Her double pike lands a little bit lock-legged, which is why she bounced out of that. You want to see them bend and absorb into the floor, both to hold the landing, but also it's much safer to land that way. Basically jogged into that final pass that she lands very well. Fifth-year senior, one of 3 fifth years on the Cal team.
Native of Oakland, Nina Schonk. 3 rotations in the books. We'll give you the scores from the 3rd rotation and then head to the 4th rotation. The Bears will be on beam and the Huskies will be on floor. Back in a moment to Seattle.